Okay, so my Baltimore Orioles are going to play the Minnesota Twins on Thursday at 3:05, and I don't know what to expect for the year at all because think about this. The Orioles had a very disappointing 2025 season. I went to Oriole Park with my cousin, my dad, and my cousin loved Oriole Park. He loved it. It was an amazing stadium he had never been, and I'm glad I got to take him. Next, we're going to go to Nationals Park, and guess who's playing when he comes? The Orioles are going to be playing there. So we'll root for my birds. But I think that the Orioles do have a shot at winning the World Series. They have Alonso. They just got him. He may not be, an MVP candidate. He may not even be like Pete Crow Armstrong. Uh, but he's, but he is in that conversation. He's hit 50 home runs before. He may be on the other side of 30, but that doesn't stop. It didn't stop Freddie Freeman. If anything, I'd argue he got better after 30. So, so there's that. Rutschman was the future Hall of Famer, and ultimately, I think that um, we can definitely see where we're going to go with the Orioles, and I think it's just going to be good too. Now, they do have a good start with the Twins. I don't see anything, coming out that would indicate that they even get to the playoffs this upcoming season. But, I think that I still say that the Twins, you don't take anything lightly in Major League Baseball. Again, the Rockies were projected to win only about 32 games, yet they win 44 last year, so do not take anything lightly there. 162 games, and a lot can happen. Now, why am I saying that the Orioles can win the World Series? Well, Alonso, um, Rutschman, Trevor Rogers is still going to be the ace at this point. And I think, and Kobe Mayo, maybe not. Um, Rutschman, Alonso, everyone else, um, everyone else. I think that we do get to see the. I apologize. I just was looking at something. But I think that we get to see perhaps one of the greatest seasons in a while. Now here's the thing: the Baltimore Orioles have never played a World Series at Camden Yards, uh, respectively. They've never done it. Um, they, but I think that we could certainly see it. Kobe Mayo is going to be the first, you know, could still give you that depth coming in from the lineup. Um, Westberg looks solid. Holiday is there. Gunnar Henderson, who just came off the World Baseball Classic, still there. Basayo, Getcher possibly coming there. Taylor Ward coming in. Maybe Taylor Ward is not there, but yeah, still there. You have Bassett there. You have Beavers as well. Bradish Efren as well. Brian Ramos, who is your other third baseman. Colton Cowser is your left fielder, and he has certainly come up very big. I don't know what's going to necessarily going to be happening right now at this point as to what's going to even happen after Minnesota, let alone the rest of the season. But it just seems to me that there's something weird going on. It's but in a good sense. I mean, the pitching lineup was actually pretty solid too. Chris Bassett is coming to the Orioles as well. Rico Garcia may be on my side of 30, but I think he could still provide a good depth. Trevor Rogers is the ace, and Tyler Wells could certainly be that guy. Basayo and Rutschman, I think you still have could go either way. Basayo's the younger one in this. Don't discount Basayo. Even though he was born in 2004, he's 22. I still say he can do good things. Westberg too. And and you still have enough depth coming uh in the outfield. Taveras certainly could be that guy. And, but O'Neill and Kauser are um probably going to be your go-to outfielders, personally. But we're stacked. We have the cow, we have the polar bear, we have Rogers on pitching. You have Bassett, and I think um, and essentially, you've got so much too, and you have Dietrich Enns too, and he may be an old vet getting up there, but still, you don't count out your veterans. Veterans win you World Series. They are leaders in the clubhouse, and you cannot discount them. You cannot discount them. Um, Little bit of an aspect with the stadium. Uh, I do think that the with the that jutted in left field wall that's an advantage to pitchers. I think that's also been a little bit of a hindrance you know, to the Orioles because I think that you're taking away potential home runs and potential game winners. I would rather you I would rather the Orioles staff give I still don't know why we ever did that with the Orioles. I will never understand that though. And I don't know why MLB even allowed this at all, but it happened and we're stuck with it. And there were chairs and seats that were removed in the left field. And where I sat as a boy doesn't exist anymore. So there's that. Felix Bautista um, as well could still be there. Um, you do still have people in the minors like Dean Kramer and Jose Espada and Cameron Foster down there. And now, Bautista, he's still on the IL, but I say that he could still come back. He's gonna be, I don't know, I just don't know when, but if he gets healthy and the Orioles are in playoff contention, I think he could still be that difference maker as well. So a few guys in the minors right now. I don't know if they want to go. I say you go off and maybe you do make one more trade during the season because you get that right key figure. You get a right that trade that makes the difference. I mean, you're cooking like you're cooking. Absolutely. So there's that. I mean, I mean, now Baltimore has been disappointed enough over the years, um, with everything. Showalter back in 2014, 2015. It seemed like the Orioles could have made it through, but again, they lose to the Royals. And apparently the Royals were always going to be the roadblock. It seemed like anytime the Orioles were could have gotten further along, the Royals were right there, 2014, 2015, and 2024. But I got a feeling, I got a little different feeling. And yes, the Royals do have Bobby Witt Jr., but I say that screw it, put the Royals in, put the Royals out, get them out, you know, but and I think that this Orioles staff is the right to do it. This Orioles roster is the right to do it. Uh, Craig Albernaz, I think he could still, I think he could be that guy. I just genuinely think that something is going to just come out this year and do it. But you know what? Let's take a look at the regular season schedule right now. Now, remember, they do play 305. Um, they play 305 at home on Thursday. So, depending on when you're watching this, um, it could be the difference maker. And then they also play at 405 on Saturday. There is no game on Friday. And then Sunday, they will play at 1:35 against the Twins. They still have some more home games. The Rangers, as they against the Rangers, as they will start at 6:35 on Monday and Tuesday. Rangers have been struggling though, so they do have the Orioles have a good have a great way to start out, and they are not going up against heavy hitters. Now, when they get back in mid-April on the 10th, they do have to go up against the Giants. The Diamondbacks are not the strongest contenders, I don't think. Guardians, after the whole Emmanuel Clase thing, I don't think they're as heavy hitters as we think they are. But that's the kicker. Royals could go either way, but I still see that I do believe that they'll win out this series, but as well. Now, the Red Sox and the Astros in late April, I think that we're going to could go either way with those series. I do think that they're going to win out a game, at least from both these teams. I don't think that the Astros or the Red Sox are going to sweep them. Just don't see it. But Orioles have a great, have are essentially going to be, uh, have an easier starting path than most teams. Now, the exception is the Giants. They've been up and down all around throughout this decade. Their dynasty has been over for a while now, but now the Giants are more back sort of on top. They finished last season at 500, and I think that they could have made they still could make it a little bit more competitive than most, but there's that. The Pirates on April 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Pirates, what do we know about them? They don't spend money, and Paul Skeens is going to be, I don't even know if he'll even be pitching those days on any of those days. Okay, so Mays we'll start off with the Yankees again. Yankees are the tough ones, so I would not be surprised if they lose that series. And they will be at Yankee Stadium during that time. Marlins, I would expect the Orioles to win that one. The not Sacramento Athletics will be coming into Oriole Park the following, on that Friday the 8th. Um, Friday, May 8th. I expect the Orioles to win that one. Yankees, again, still, I might take the Yankees to win that one. So hold off on that one. Nationals, I think that the Orioles could win that away, and I'll certainly be try to get out to one of those games. So yeah, they'll be the Orioles will return to the Trop in May. They will be in Tampa Bay during that time. I think that the Rays can certainly provide a challenge, but I'll say that the Orioles win that series. Uh, Now, the end of the month is still up in the air. They will face the Tigers at home, they will face the Rays at home, and they'll face the Blue Jays at home. I think that this is going to be one of the big roadblocks that we're going to see, and we've had issues with the Orioles, around May, and everyone thought that, oh, they're going to do so well, they'll get far. And so if they can survive at this end of the month in May, I think they'll do it, that they could be that playoff contending team. But early June they have to go at Fenway and then they have to go play Toronto again. So things could be very difficult to go to. Then you have Seattle and then you have San Diego. But the but on June 8th they're at home facing against Seattle. And then that weekend, they are facing in on June 12th to the 14th, they will be facing San Diego. I think that they could still win out the series in San Diego, but it's going to be a tough one. Then they have to go to Seattle. Um, to They have to go to Seattle at T-Mobile Park, and they've got to go up against Cal Raleigh and the Mariners there, and that's going to be tough. Dodgers, whew, hold on to your hats. I am, if they get swept, I would not be surprised. Um, from the 19th to the 21st, then they have to go downtown to Anaheim to see the Angels. I think that's probably going to be, the easier one series to do. Then they face the Nationals at home. Then the White Sox come into town on the 29th and 30th and the 1st of July. So that would be an easy time for them. But they go to Cincinnati right afterward and to face the Reds. Then they have to deal with the Cubs at home and the Royals at home. Then we have the Derby, the All-Star game, and the break Astros and everything. I think that the break, I mean, I now you start to see in July of all the predictions of where they could go wrong and yeah, uh at the end of it all, there's that. So Astros are the first. They have to go into Houston, and even though it's going to be a tough one, I think that they could pull something out there. They have to face the Red Sox again at Fenway on the 20th to the 22nd. Then they have a little bit of breathing room. I don't see the Braves doing that well again, so I do think that they'll win at home against the Braves, certainly with the home field advantage, but they have to immediately go into Detroit from the 27th to the 29th of July. Um, and Spencer and Kerry Carpenter, not easy uh, foe, foes to contend with, but I think the Orioles could still find a way to muster it out. But we'll see where the hitting is and everything of the sort. Then on the July 31st, they face Philadelphia. And then the 1st and the 2nd of August, that series finishes up. Angels come in, Rangers come in, Rays come in, after that. And then on the 18th of August, do the Yankees do come into town, but then the Rays come in once more, and that's an easier time for the Orioles. The Cardinals, the Orioles do go to the Cardinals that Tuesday, the 25th. Then on the 28th, they go to Sacramento to face the Athletics. And and then on Monday, the 31st, they are in Colorado to face the Rockies. So they get some easier teams to face at the end of August. September, 1st and 2nd, still in Colorado. Then they have a homestand. Red Sox come into town for a 4 game stretch. Then the Guardians come in on the 7th to the 9th. Orioles get the rest day. They go to Toronto, the team that almost won the World Series. Um, it's going to be tough there. Then they go to New York, not to face the Yankees, but they go to Queens to face the Mets. So it's going to be a very interesting homecoming for Pete Alonso on September 14th. I think the Orioles will find a way to win it. We saw the Mets totally collapse, and I don't see them getting back into it without Pete Alonso. So I am not expecting the Mets to go far at all. Then they're home against the Brew Crew. That's going to be a very tough one. I honestly thought the Brew Crew could have taken down the Dodgers, especially with the weirdest double play at American Family Field last year, if you remember that. Whew. Then on the 21st and 22nd and the 23rd, we see the Blue Jays coming to town for their last homestand. Then we have the Yankees. Then the Orioles have to go play the Yankees in what could possibly be a chance to take the division. And then October baseball, and and I do predict that the Orioles will be somewhere along the line of of a playoff berth. But oh man, I hope I hope the Orioles do well. You know, Baltimore, it's been a while since the Orioles won a championship. It's been 43 years. 43 years. You know, and we're coming up on the 40th anniversary of the Mets winning their World Series. But guess who's been to more World Series in the past 40 something years? The Mets, the Mets, the Mets. Uh, at least the Orioles might have an easier time facing off against the Mets, though. But we'll take that into consideration as well. I think um, so do I think that one trade could still make the difference and them possibly winning a World Series? Yeah, I do. You know, I know this team was written off, last year, but hey, this is still the team that defeated the Dodgers too on Cal Ripken night on the 30th anniversary of him breaking Lou Gehrig's record last year. And Gunnar Henderson and Roki Sasaki couldn't muster it, so close to a no-hitter for him, and they just couldn't do it. And it was probably one of the greatest moments at Oriole Park since September 28th, 2011. And and even though they were down to their last out, they kept going. And I think that right now, with Pete coming in, Pistol Pete coming in, I genuinely believe the Orioles could do it with him. Maybe not this year, but I think that Pete wants it too. And and think about this. Pete gets nearly $130 million contract, right? For 5 years. And I'm thinking, and you got to think to yourself, the Mets didn't give me anything. The Mets should have been in my corner immediately and they didn't come in, why would I even want? I'm going to be more incentivized to play better baseball in Baltimore than I ever did in New York. Why would I want to go? Why would I want to, I'm going to give it my all because I want to win a World Series. And I think Pete really wants to win a World Series. But I think he signed with the Orioles more importantly, for um, the reason that he thinks that he can win a World Series more with Baltimore than with the Mets. I don't think Juan Soto is the right guy for the Mets. I think he belonged in the Bronx more than Queens. And I think David Cohen was in the wrong for, um, I think he was in the wrong to sign Juan Soto for that, $430 million. Pete's not even getting half of that with the Orioles, but I think he's the right guy. I think that he was Mr. Met for so long. He beat Darryl Strawberry's home run record, and he's the Mets all-time leader in home runs. And I don't see Soto beating it for whatever reason. Like there's something in the back of my mind he's going to jump ship or he's going to do something else. But the Mets are not my team, the Orioles are. And also, look at my cell phone right here. Look at this bad boy. The original Baltimore Oriole logo. Am I an Orioles fan or what? Thought I'd mention that too. But I'm rooting for Rutschman. I'm rooting for Pete. I'm rooting for Kobe Mayo. I'm rooting for Trevor Rogers and and Batista and everything because because Baltimore deserves a championship. They deserve this. Orioles fans have gone through so much. It's been nearly a decade since they won a playoff game. And I think that this is the team to go all the way. Call me crazy, but I think it is. I hope you liked this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're on Substack, share this out with everyone. Subscribe if you're new around here. And with that being said, take care.